What is going on, guys? This is Jay. You are listening to the J. Alright. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to anyone who's listening to the J. Today we're going to talk about the 2023 Gilas players. This is my list, my opinions. I hope you could understand, and this is the most logical way I could think of the lineup, or the 32 names that I'm giving out today might be the most logical people or players that would play for the 2023 FIBA World Cup for the Philippines. First of all, it's the guy on top of my list is Kai Soto. He's gonna be 21 by that time, so hopefully he's going to be a beast. So we'll start with centers. It's just a few names. Centers and power forwards. So I'm going to start with Kai. Next one would be Junmar Fajardo. I know he's injured right now. I think it's his shin or maybe something else. I'm not sure. But he's going to be 33 at that time. Hopefully he recovers soon so he could play with SMB. I know SMB is struggling right now with the tune-up games. And but I hope he does recover soon. He's the best big man that the Philippines have right now, and hopefully for years to come. Let's see. I mean, it depends on his recovery and whatever happens after the injury. Anyway, moving on. So Kai and Junmar. Next would be AJ Edu. He's going to be 23 at that time. So he's going to be a beast as well because he's been training in the US and he has that athleticism that we really need at the front line. Next one would be Japheth. He's going to be 36, more experienced by that time. Hopefully he has some bags of tricks like RDO. I don't know if he's gonna get that, but you'll never know. With playing with Tim Cone with the triangle, he's gonna be great. And aging with Tim Cone is great for your career. Next would be Isaac Go. So he's gonna be 26 at that time. The big man with shooting. We really need that. I would say that out of this list that I have, he's one of those big guys that you can rely on the outside, and with rebounding and some skills, he might be a better player by that time. Hopefully, players never stop learning. So I'm feeling hopeful and optimistic that Isaac Go would be great at 2023. Next one would be Poi Aram. So he's going to be 33 in 2023. So he's a shot blocker. He's a good rebounder. He can shoot from the outside, and he could attack the ring as well. So he's going to be a good addition to the big men of Gilas in 2023. Next, he's a little bit under the radar, but I've been seeing some of his highlights. Is Sage Tolentino. He's going to be like 19. He's tall and mobile. A little bit like Kai, but I believe he's faster. He can dribble. He's faster with the ball. That's what I can say with what I can observe. And he can shoot better. He has that great form. He shoots like a guard and actually like a wing. So maybe he could play the three. Who knows? I don't know how he defends yet because he's still young and he doesn't have that much competition in the videos that I've seen of him. But he's gonna be a good player. So watch out for him. Next one would be Gio Chu from Ateneo. He's 21 years old, and he's gonna be 21 years old by 2023, obviously. And he's a big man too, but he's a little bit slow. His upper body, he needs to work on his strength. But we all know if you keep on playing in the Philippines, you have that strength. And he's, you can't teach height, so he's one of the tall guys. So we are. Here's what I said so far: Kai Soto, Junmar Fajardo, AJ Edu, Japeth Aguilar, Isaac Go, Poy Aram, Sage Tolentino, and Gio Chu. So those are my forwards for 2023. Next would be small forwards, which this is a short list because we don't have that much quality small forwards in the Philippines. This is the weakest spot ever by our Gilas or Philippine national team rosters. Small forward is really, you need someone who can defend in the perimeter, defend in the post, who can shoot threes, who can slash. It's a do it all position. So it's pretty tough to get that guy with good size in the Philippines. Right now I have 5 guys on my list who can fit the bill. Unfortunately, Gabe Norwood is not here in my list because he's gonna be, I don't know how old is he gonna be by 2023. But time, and he played so much. I believe 10 plus years already with the national team. So I believe we need younger people or players to play in the national team to build and look forward to the future. Right now, the oldest in my list is Troy Rosario. He's going to be 31 at 2023. He's a good shooter, corner shot especially. He loves that corner shot. He can defend well. He's faster now than like last 2-3 years. He moves his feet well now. His hand speed is good too. So he's gonna be like Kawhi Leonard here. Actually, I got 6 on my list. I'm sorry, I mentioned 5, but there's 6. Anyway, so Troy Rosario is number 1 on my list. Next one would be Abu Tratter. So Abu he's like a power forward, but you can convert him to a small forward. He needs to work on his perimeter defense though. As I can see, he's bulky, so he needs to work on his foot speed. And his athleticism is there, so we don't have a problem with that. I hope he gets better in time too. And next one on my list is Kobe Paras. He can shoot now. He's a good 3 right now in my list. He can shoot from the outside. He can defend. He has athleticism. So you just gotta work on some small things, and he could be that great player next to Gabe Norwood. Next one would be, he's a young guy. He's Carl Tamayo, 22 years old by 2023. He's actually a hybrid player because he's big, but he can play the 3. He can bring the ball down the court, which is pretty rare in the Philippines. You only see guys do that, like Jared Dillinger. Troy Rosario can do that. Gabe Norwood can do that. Way back, Danny Siegel could do that. But Carl Tamayo, he's one of them. So he's like you could say Scottie Pippen type. But he could work on his defense too, his perimeter defense. It could be a great asset, if there's big guys, or not big guys, with good size. It's like 6'4" to 6'7" or 6'8", who can run and play defense well in the perimeter. That's a great addition. Anyone who fits that bill would be a great addition to the national team. Next one would be, he's pretty young at this time, but I believe he's ready by 19 years old. Francis LeBron Lopez. I believe he's going to be ready by that time. So watch out. He plays like an NBA player. He's pretty quick. He's pretty fast. And he's strong at his age. So, yeah, watch out for that dude. Next up on my list are shooting guards. Wait, let's recap the small forwards though. Troy Rosario, Abu Trotter, Kobe Paras, Mark Bello, Carl Tamayo, and LeBron Lopez Jr. Oh, LeBron Lopez Jr. I'm sorry, Francis LeBron Lopez. So shooting guards. It's a little bit of conundrum with the shooting guards and point guards because there's a lot of talent with 1 and 2 spots, especially in the Philippines. Number 1 would be Matthew Wright. He's going to be 32 years old. Next one would be CJ Perez. Who's this next guy? Dwight Ramos. Wow. Yeah, that guy from Ateneo. He played in the SEA Games against not SEA Games, FIBA Asia against Indonesia, and he's pretty good, decent. He can shoot from the outside. He can drive, put the ball down, and has a great bulky body and good defense. He could play the 2 in the Philippines. With that size, that's a huge help. Next one would be R.R. Pogoy. So R.R. Pogoy would be 30 at that time. He's a shooter. Shooters, they get to be better in time. Their efficiency grows in time. So he's going to be a better shooter by the age of 30. Next one would be 30 Ravena. Defense, hustle, heart. What more can you ask for? So next one would be Dave Ildefonso. Like 30 and Kiefer, he wants to win. You can see it in his eyes, and he's a competitor. What I like about him is he's consistent too. So he learned well from his dad. So hopefully he's going to be part of 2023. But this is a big pool that I'm looking at right now. Next one, highly unlikely because of commitment issues, especially with the recent game against Indonesia. He was offered to play. His name is Bobby Ray Parks Jr. The SBP remembers these stuff. If you refuse to play, I don't know if you'll get asked again. And we remember who else refused back then. But SBP or Philippines in general, they're very sensitive when it comes to refusing or saying stuff. Or even if you tweet something, probably they won't forget it. So Calvin Abueva, I know he's not on my list. I know he can't play anymore with SBP. SBP won't let him play. Even Terrence Romeo, after that Gilas Australia brawl, I'm really hoping they could play again. But SBP never forgets. That should be their slogan. SBP, we never forget. Anyway, next one on my list, Richie Rivero. He's gonna be 25 by 2023. He's pretty athletic. Can bring the ball down. A little bit slow in defense, but he can work on that. He has those big steps, especially with his Euro steps. So we could take that to our advantage, but we'll see. We'll see how his game develops and evolves through time. Especially now with he's playing in UP and the Liano brothers are not playing anymore. He's playing with Kobe, so Kobe Paraz. Let's see if we can get more touches in the upcoming UAAP season. Next one on my list and last one with the shooting guards would be Renz Abando. Pretty damn athletic, if you ask me. He has the shooting. He has everything, man. He's a good player. I saw the last time I saw him would be the UST President Pass game. I don't know what it's called, but he was exchanging shots against Alain Maliksi, which is impressive. And Maliksi is in the pros right now, way deep in the pros. I don't know how long is his experience with the pros, but Abando is really competitive, and he could really shoot, and he could really jump. That's what I can say about him. So rundown on my shooting guards would be Matthew Wright, CJ Perez, Dwight Ramos, R.R. Pogoy, 30 Ravena, Dave Aldefonso, Ray Parks Jr., Richie Rivero, and Renzo Bando. Point guards. It's going to be, again, it's a conundrum. Philippines really deep with the talents with 1 and 2. So let's see. Got a short list with my point guards. Not as short as the centers. There's only 2 guys on my list in the centers, Kai and Junmar. But you can inter-exchange Japet, I guess, by that time. Anyway, point guards, going back, Stanley Pringle, number 1 on my list. Number 35. He can be a naturalized player. But he's 35 at that time, so we'll see. Kiefer Ravena, number 2 on my list. The captain. He has a lot of pros in this game. He hogs the ball too much, they say, but I don't believe that. He's pretty good in decision making. He makes the best decisions for the team, and sometimes he takes the shot, but he believes that he needs to take it. So I can't argue with that. He's smart. He's a smart player. Anyway, next on my list, Juan Gomez Del Llano. So, lefty shooter. He can read the floor well, and he needs to sharpen up his guard skills. But he's a little bit undersized. But who isn't? If you're playing for the Philippines, you're always undersized. But he's a great shooter, and he could be better in time. Just trust the process. 23 years old by 2023. Wow, to be young again. So for me, I believe the prime of a player would be 23 to 27 years old. I don't believe in the 30, 34. The prime would be where your athleticism and your skill meet. So your athleticism goes down by like 30. So we'll see. Anyway, next on my list is Terrence Romeo. He's going to be 31 at 2023. Hopefully he's still good, and hopefully SBP reconsiders him to be a player again. I don't know if SBP will pick him again, but we know he's a great asset to the Philippine basketball, and when he wants it, he gets it. But we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. I can't say too much without inside knowledge, but we can just all assume. But as a player, we know he can do it. We know he can be the star in the Philippine team. Any Philippine team you put If Terrence Romeo is there, he would score at least 20 points. Just my opinion. Anyway, next would be Dolph Fanopio, 23 years old by 2023. Training with DME Blue, I believe. Great shooter. Last time I saw him in the FIBA under 19 or under 17, I can't remember. Under 18, who knows? Anyway, he got a couple of turnovers. I believe. I don't know if it's jet lag or the way the physicality in FIBA games are. His weakness were athletic point guards. His crossovers were checked by these athletic point guards. So I believe he's getting better. He's doing better. He can always shoot. We know that for a fact that he can always shoot, and I don't know why his minutes were down the last FIBA competition, but let's hope he's gonna be playing well again in the near future. Next one on my list, Fortsky Padrigao, Kai's best friend. He's gonna be 21 at that time. I don't think he'll make it, but I might as well just put him on the list because it's the best talent that I see right now. Fortsky can be a great facilitator next to, I don't want to say Hector Calma, but he's a good, he reads the floor well, and I can say that much that he's gonna be a great point guard in the league, in PBA. And hopefully, maybe internationally if he can play there. Next one, and last one on my point guard list, would be Remy Martin. He's been posting stuff on his Instagram that he really wants to play for the Philippines. Last time he didn't got the call. Hopefully this time he will. And who knows, he might be in the NBA by that time. So he's going to be... He's a great player, actually, right now. But, maybe we can just all assume, again, maybe it's politics. Maybe. Because I think SBP wants more homegrown Filipino players in the national team. But I don't know. Remy Martin could really, compete. I think he could compete with Jason Castro too. If they play, I don't know, maybe 1-on-1 or maybe a team game, he could compete. He could show up. And that's it for my point guard list. Stanley Pringle, Kiefer Ravenna, JGDL, Terrence Romeo, Dolph Panopio, Fortsky Padrigao, and Remy Martin. Last one would be the naturalized players. Stanley Pringle should be on this list, but I just put him in the point guard just in case FIBA changes its mind. So naturalized players, Jordan Clarkson, he's gonna be 31 at that time. He's good. He's really up there. We really want to see him play for the national team for the Philippines. And let's see what happens. I mean, our list, you could put a small forward there in this list. If you really want to play Kai, if you want to put a naturalist player in the center position, you won't be able to use him if Kai is there. He's gonna be just an insurance if Kai goes down, God forbid. But if you really want to play some naturalized guys, he got to be a small forward, because the 1 and 2 and 4 are pretty packed. The only space you have would be the 5 and 3. So anyway, Jordan Clarkson, great scorer. Good defender, NBA player, NBA caliber. We know what he could bring to the table, and we'll see. Next one would be Chris McCullough. Chris McCullough. Same thing. He could offer a lot, like Jordan Clarkson does. I believe Jordan has more speed than this guy, but this guy is athletic. He can jump off the roof, and man, it's tough. It's tough if you have to choose between Clarkson and McCullough. But if you have to go for the media, just choose Clarkson. If I think for the wins, they're even. If you want to go for the wins, Chris McCullough and Jordan Clarkson are doing. Those are the guys you want to look at. Next one on my list, Ange Kwame from Ateneo. Gonna be 24 at that time. Chemistry won't be a problem. He's a good rebounder, good defender at the block. I mean, what more can I ask? But again, if you're looking at the naturalized player, Ange Kwame is a good backup for Kai. Definitely solid. But if Kai is there, he has no playing time. And Junmar is gonna be there. We all know that. Ange Kwame is like poor man's AJ Edu. So and AJ is there too, so I don't know what to say with that. Lastly, on the naturalized players, Jalen Green. Whoever thought of that? You could sign him up as a naturalized player. So, but he plays like a shooting guard. Definitely could play like a small forward. Who could stop him? I don't think anyone could stop him in FIBA. Even the Australians will have a tough time in FIBA Asia. But in the world, anyone, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to defend him. He can shoot. He can drive. He's quick. He can jump off the roof. He's a complete package. So, let's see. All right, guys. So those are the names in my list. I'll run it down again for you. Kai Soto, Junmar Fajardo, AJ Edu, Japeth Aguilar, Isaac Go, Boy Aram, Sage Tolentino, Gio Chu, Troy Rosario, Abu Trotter, Kobe Paras, Mac Bello, Carl Tamayo, LeBron Lopez, Matthew Wright, CJ Perez, Dwight Ramos, R.R. Pugoy, Troy Ravena, David Defonso, Ray Parks Jr., Richard Rivero, Renzo Bando, Stanley Pringle, Kiefer Ravena, JGDL, Terrence Romeo, Dolph Panofio, Fortsky Padrigao, Remy Martin, Jordan Clarkson, Chris McCullough, Angelo Kwame, and Jalen Green. So that's it for now, guys. This is Jay, and you're listening to the Jay, and keep shooting.